Perspective on Florida Gateway College Television is sponsored by Potash Corp of White Springs. Potash Corp, helping nature provide.
Hello everyone and welcome to Perspective. This is a public affairs presentation of Florida Gateway College. My name is Mike McKee and my guests on the program are going to talk about the March of Dimes and the Signature Chef auction event, which is coming up soon. We have Fern Mann, the Signature Chef co-chair, as well as Vanessa Jackson, the new development director for the March of Dimes. We'll talk with them about the Signature Chef auction, how you can participate. We'll do that when we come back. Don't go away.
We're gonna try this again, okay?
Okay.
Wheels, pedals, handlebar, brakes. Sit up straight, keep your weight in the center, keep your eyes on the road, hands on the grips, button the seat. If we feel ourselves falling, what do?
Just keep pedaling.
Good girl. Now remember, it's all about balance and steering. Steer with your hands, steer with your body. Steer into the corners and you stay out of trouble. And the bell's your buddy, so go ahead and ding that. All right, ready? Here we go. Pedal, honey, pedal. There you go, you're a bike rider.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Welcome back to Perspective here on Florida Gateway College Television. Fern Mann has been a supporter of the March of Dimes and all of their good works for many, many years. She is the co-chair of the Signature Chef auction that is taking place on November 17th. And Vanessa Jackson is the brand new development director for the March of Dimes. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I guess, Fern, for those who are unfamiliar with the Signature Chef, how did it get started? I know Maureen and Vern Lloyd had a lot to do with this getting started.
Maureen and Vern Lloyd started the Miracle on Marion Street years ago. And
it was at the Old Blanche Hotel.
It was at the Old Blanche Hotel, yes. And so it was a Christmas themed party and very successful. We shortly outgrew the hotel, moved out to the Holiday Inn, outgrew that, and went to the fairgrounds, outgrew that, and ended up at Roundtree Moore, and we did not outgrow that, but we did move from Roundtree Moore. We greatly appreciated Roundtree Moore giving us their property to use because they had to completely clean out their sales floor for us, and we just took over for not a better part of a week. But now we are out at the Armory, and the sound system is wonderful, and our money keeps, every year we make more money than we did last year, and it has been a wonderful opportunity in this city.
Now, Vanessa, you're brand new. In fact, you've only been with the March of Dimes for a couple months.
Yes.
Have you been to this? I mean, have you heard what they do here and what's all involved in putting this on?
I've heard many wonderful things. I've heard that this is one of the favorite events out of the year. I have personally not been, but I look very much forward to being there in November for the first time and seeing what this is all about.
Well, Fern, let's talk about what it's all about. It's an evening where we invite a bunch of chefs from Columbia County. Talk about that, because you lived it for a couple of years.
I was the chef's chair for a number of years, and the chefs in the restaurants in this town are most generous and very eager to participate. Sometimes a new chef will hesitate and not exactly understand, but once they get in there and see what a wonderful opportunity is for them to meet their customers, to show off their food, to give their specialties out, to the public, they are just very anxious to participate the next year. So we are pleased to say that we have at least 22 chefs that are going to be there, and Olive Garden is going to give us their salad and breadsticks as on the table, so that we'll have a wonderful salad, and 1,000 Degrees Pizza is going to provide pizza bites and spinach roll-ups for appetizers, and we are just you just have to come to this event and see the wonderful offerings of the chefs.
Well, and it's the ticket price that you get. You get fed. You get to look at, there are several items that are available for bid. Talk a little bit about that. There's a silent and a live auction as well, correct?
Right, there is a silent auction. Those silent auctions, we have cut way down on the silent auction items, and it is much easier to have a checkout now, much quicker, because we don't have those throngs of people waiting to get their items. But I personally do not know what is in the silent auction. I can tell you that we do have the Fun Enhancer this year. That is the little raffle that we have, the drawing that we have. We have 3 items on there. We have this really beautiful 2-carat diamond and emerald bracelet donated by American Pawn. And we have a 3-day deer hunt and lodging with Tommy Houck in South Carolina was going to be part of that. And George Ward has offered to give us something this year, but he hasn't decided what it is yet. It's going to be a special thing.
That's from Ward's Jewelers downtown on the park.
I'm sorry, I just assume everybody knows who
Everybody
Ward's
knows
is.
Ward's.
Everybody knows who Ward's is. You're supposed to know where the old Ronsonet Buick place was. 2 blocks down from the old Ronsonet Buick place. And those 3 things will be on our raffle, and you will be able to buy tickets for $25. We only print 100 tickets, just 100, so you have a very good chance of winning. So ask me another question.
Well, no, I was going to say, when I was talking to the students out here today, I said they're going to have a silent auction out there, and I said, what's a silent auction? And so if you would describe what a silent auction, there's an item that may be tickets to a basketball game, or there may be like Sonny's Barbecue may have something like a barbecue package. You write what you think, what you bid on it, right? Describe silent auction for the viewers.
Okay, well, for example, let's say that Moe's Southwest Grill is going to give a
well, she's plugging the restaurants
Well,
today.
I couldn't think of anybody else of what they were giving. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Moe's Southwest Grill normally will give a catering for 10, and it's valued at say $100 or $120. And you go and you write, well, I will pay $35 for it. Well, the next person comes along and says, no, I'm going to pay $45 or $55, and then the next person comes along and says, no, I'm going to pay $75. So you bid silently on these items by writing your ticket number and your dollar amount on the line, and whoever ends up last on the sheet gets it.
Well, and it's funny because you'll see people that keep walking. There's something that they see, and a lot of the silent auction items are very unique gifts that they're one of a kind. You really can't go to a store and buy it, but like you said, this Moe's Southwest will do a catering, and I've seen people that may bid $50 and then someone bids $51, and then they'll do $52, and the bidding will go up like that, and it's a lot of fun. It gives you an opportunity if you really want something for either as a gift or to maybe an office party, you can do that. But there's also a live auction, correct?
That is correct. There is a live auction, and there are really many really nice things in the live auction this year.
Now that's where Aaron Bean comes in.
That's where our live auctioneer comes in.
Senator
That's correct.
Aaron Bean,
Senator Aaron Bean
is an auctioneer, and I worked with him last year, and it was a lot of fun because he knows what he's doing.
Right. He does a really good job of it. Do you want to talk about that?
About the live auction?
About the live auction?
Sure, I can.
Okay, go right ahead.
Well, one of the things that's going to be offered in the live auction is a package put together by Joe Spradley, who owns the Landing Restaurant, and he actually is our lead chef. And for those of you that don't know Joe, or you don't know the Landing, they have actually been voted Best of the Best Fried Chicken for the last 2 years and Best of the Best Country Restaurant for 2016. So he has a lot to be proud of. And he mentioned to us as well that last year when he participated that actually his business has expanded so much from catering different jobs that he got from the Signature Chef auction that he is actually booked up until next year. But he is offering several packages to the live auction. And one of them is a meal for 25 people. It will be delivered locally to an off-site location. It's a full buffet style meal for 25 people with 2 meats, 3 vegetables, salad bar, bread, 2 desserts, tea, and coffee. And that does include delivery and setup, plus dinnerware and cutlery. So that will be one of the live auctions. It will be valued at $1,200. And actually, he does have several other options. If that one doesn't sound appealing to you, there are several more. But we do have several other items. Did you want me to talk about those, or were you wanting to?
He always asks us, what do you have for men? This is what we have
Well,
for men.
you know,
I'm ready for that.
And we have several vacation packages as well, which would be for men or women, or men and women.
Well, a lot of times, you know, guys don't really want to go to this. Is kind of
Exactly.
a lady thing.
Yes.
And then, so what you've done is you've enticed the men to show up by
Yes.
doing some outdoor stuff.
Yes.
So Fern, you.
All right, I'm it. We again have our Frank Croft fishing trip. This is a fun trip with Frank Croft, and we thank him for giving this year after year. People who go just say they have had a wonderful time. Rob Chapman from Rob Chapman 360 Outdoors has said that he would arrange a fishing trip for us. He did one last year, and we are very grateful to him for arranging it again this year. And part of that package is that your fishing trip will get written up in the Outdoor 360 column in the newspaper. So there's a little added incentive. Also, the Bicentennial Sportsman Club 3-day deer hunt and lodging with Tommy Houck that we mentioned before is certainly something the men really like. Last year it was a turkey hunt. This year it's a deer hunt.
The deer, from what I understand, the deer in South Carolina are huge.
Yes.
And
So
so
they're bigger than Florida deer.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Most definitely.
Right. We have a Too Cool ice chest from McDuffie's that always goes almost for full price. So if you want it, you better get on it. We have the FSU football autographed by Jimbo Fisher. And FSU football tickets donated by S&S Food Stores. We really appreciate that donation from them. We have Man's Columbia sunglasses, and donated by North Florida Eyeglass, and 4 VIP tickets for the Harlem Globetrotters donated by Florida Gateway College.
That's right. That's on February 28th. The Globetrotters will be in our auditorium, or not our auditorium, but our gymnasium here on campus. That'd be kind of hard to have a basketball game in an auditorium, but no, we donate every year to the Signature Chefs auction, and we really enjoy doing it. Mm-hmm. Now, for those of you who are looking for tickets, where can they find tickets to the auction and the evening? Oh, we need to talk about entertainment too. The Vintage Band is going to be playing, Vanessa, and I think there's going to have a special guest.
Yes, the Vintage Band will be playing. They played last year and were very well received. Everyone enjoyed them. They're frequent players at Marion Street, and I think draw a very big crowd there. But this time they will have a special guest. I'm not biased at all, but their special guest will be Tori Jackson. That is my daughter. That's, for those of you that don't know, that's why I was making that little funny there. But we are very excited to have Tori and the Vintage Band playing together for our entertainment throughout the night.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. You can make it an evening.
Yes.
There's the fun thing about this event is that it's not boring. You're either eating, or
Yes.
you're getting something to drink, or you're listening to the band, you're listening to the auction.
Yes.
And there's a little competition going during the auction to
Yes.
see who can outbid who on an item that they really like to have. So it's a lot of fun. And again, all the money goes to March of Dimes. And Vanessa, I wanted to talk to you about the works of the March of Dimes, especially in an era where we now have a virus called Zika, which is causing birth defects in children in South Florida now.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about what the March of Dimes is doing to do research on making a vaccine for Zika.
Well, the March of Dimes, their main goal is research. And I'm not sure if many people know this, but March of Dimes funded the research which cured polio years ago. And since then, that's what they do. Their money is spent on research to help and assist with different universities that are putting on trials and coming up with vaccines for children, which of course, because a lot of people want to know, what is it doing locally? Well, if your child got a polio vaccine, that is helping your child locally, but it is helping someone in Wisconsin the same exact way. Well, with Zika, there is not a lot known, and even if we started the research now and came up with the vaccine, it's going to be 2 years before that is actually being able to affect anyone. So they are spending millions on the Zika research because currently it is not being funded on a government level. So we are doing all we can with the March of Dimes to find out really even as little, because so little is known about the Zika virus and how it affects pregnant women and their babies. It's going to be an epidemic if we don't get a handle on it.
Well, and I think a lot of people in our area don't think about the March of Dimes because they've never had to use the services of the March of Dimes. Surfactant is another thing that was developed by scientists, March of Dimes scientists, and that helps premature babies that have trouble breathing. It opens their lungs up. But we are so fortunate, and I think, Fern, you and I have talked about this in previous years, to have a NICU for tiny babies as close as Shands in Gainesville.
Well, you know, Mike, one of the reasons that that I have worked with the March of Dimes for the last 8 years is that I have a grandson who was born premature, 6 weeks. Little Dickens didn't want to get born, and then all of a sudden he was here. And we, what I mean is, I'm sorry, she went into labor prematurely and then got down to the hospital and he got stuck in the birth canal. That's what I meant. So he was, you know, he had kind of a traumatic birth in addition to being premature. And we were so grateful that the NICU unit was there waiting for him, and that the surfactant therapy had been developed because, of course, 6 weeks early you have breathing issues, and that the research of the March of Dimes was right there at our fingertips. Just didn't have to do anything special, didn't have to, you know, call in special doctors. It just was part of the program of every regional hospital in the United States, and that is due to the work of the March of Dimes. It is, if you can imagine how hard it would be, how difficult it would be to get the entire United States medical field to agree that every regional hospital in the United States needed to have a NICU unit. But the March of Dimes was able to work with the government and the medical field and the legal field and all the other fields that it takes to get that kind of cooperation. So now any child born near a regional medical center has access to a NICU unit and to surfactant therapy, and it is due to the work of the March of Dimes. And a lot of people, like you say, I don't see where the money comes locally. The money comes locally every time a baby's born.
Well, and Fern, I know as a grandparent, there's nothing like being told that your grandchild is being born prematurely. How reassuring was it that Robert and Michelle could go to Shands and that there was maybe less stress? I mean, you're under a lot of stress anyway. What was it like back when your tiny grandson was born?
Back 11 years ago? Well, actually, he went to North Florida Regional, but both Shands and North Florida Regional have the NICU units, and now I believe that Shands here in Lake City has a neonatal unit, which is a good thing for Lake City. But it was you know, it was scary. That's the best way to put it. It was scary. And we were just taken care of by professionals all the way down the line. It was such a nice feeling to know that this baby was going to be cared for and that he was going to be okay.
Vanessa, you said you were at the NICU yesterday. Talk
Yes.
about that experience, because I know we could talk all day about it.
Yes.
But until you actually visit it and see the tininess of these little babies that are born premature.
Yes, Mike, as I was telling you earlier, you know, when you see a 1 pound, 6 ounce baby in person, it is so much different than seeing a picture of a 1 pound, 6 ounce baby. And to watch the care that these babies were being given and watching the parents that were there and sitting by their child's bedside, which is really, it's an incubator, and they're encased in there with all these tubes and all these things running out and of them. And I think just the support that the March of Dimes gives to the parents as well, not just the babies, but the support that's given to the parents, as you know, with their babies being in there and they don't understand everything that's going on. And it had a profound effect on me yesterday.
Yeah, and again, I'd love to be able to go down and shoot video,
Yes.
but because of certain rules and privacy
Yes.
rules in hospitals, it's almost impossible.
With the HIPAA laws, that's what they told us yesterday. We were wanting some, you know, obviously just curiosity, some information on some of the babies, but they weren't able to give us that.
Well, it's a great event on November 17th. What time does it start? 5?
6.
6. And the food will probably be around 7 o'clock, 7-ish. And entertainment starts, the auction starts, so it's an evening out. If you can talk your spouse to taking you to the Signature Chefs auction, it's a great Thursday night event here in Lake City. If you'd like more information about the March of Dimes and the Signature Chefs auction, you can call this number on the screen and we'll get you the right information on how you can participate or even how you can donate to the March of Dimes. Ladies, thank you for being on the program.
Thank you for having us.
Good luck, and we're
Yes.
going to shoot videos, so next year we won't be just talking
That'd be
about
great.
the auction and the food and the stuff. We'll actually have some video that we can show the folks.
Absolutely.
And thank you for being on the program.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you for watching Perspective here on Florida Gateway College Television. Until next time, I'm Mike McKee. Good night.